Tauron Strike is one of the biggest new systems coming in Warframe's Old Peace update, and it's something that has players really excited. Basically, it's a new kind of ultimate ability tied to your focus school. Instead of just passive bonuses or small power boosts, each focus school is getting its own unique, high-impact attack called a Tauron Strike. Think of it as a personalized super move that really defines the identity of your chosen school. Something that gives your operator or drifter an actual weaponized role in combat, not just support. During DevStream 190, Digital Extremes gave us a small tease of how this works. They showed the Unairu Focus School performing its own Tauron Strike, and it looked powerful. The Unairu version created a huge concussive hit that slammed enemies in a wide area, almost like a mix between a melee smash and a shockwave. It wasn't just flashy, it looked practical too, the kind of move that could clear a crowd or interrupt enemies in tougher missions. The best part is that every focus school will eventually have its own version of this, each with unique visuals, weapons, and effects tied to their theme. What's interesting is how DE described it. Tauron Strikes are meant to give every focus school its signature moment. That means Naramon's version could be fast and precise, Zenurik might focus on energy or crowd control, and Madarai might get a pure damage burst. This change finally gives meaning to choosing a focus school beyond passive stats or minor buffs. You're not just picking a playstyle, you're choosing an ultimate. It's a smart way to make the operator and drifter systems feel more active and fun to use again. From what they teased, Tauron Strikes also appear to use special weapons tied to each school. These aren't regular melee or guns. They're thematic tools that manifest only during the ability. So far, we've seen Unairus, but the community is already speculating what others might look like. Maybe Zenurik gets a floating energy spear, or Madarai summons a blazing blade. It's all speculation for now, but DE hinted that every Tauron Strike will look and feel completely different from the others, which should make testing them out really satisfying once the update drops. What makes Tauron Strikes so exciting is how they tie into the larger operator and drifter rework coming with the Old Peace. DE confirmed that the update will overhaul the focus system completely, making it more accessible and synergistic with your Warframes. Tauron Strikes fit perfectly into that idea. They act as a bridge between your operator powers and Warframe gameplay, something that adds depth without overcomplicating things. Imagine finishing a tough fight, swapping to your operator, and unleashing your school's ultimate move to wipe out the last few enemies. That's the kind of moment DE wants players to experience. Overall, Tauron Strike looks like a big step forward for the operator system. It's flashy, powerful, and finally gives the focus schools a sense of identity they've been missing for years. Even though we've only seen a glimpse so far, it already feels like one of those updates that will redefine how we play. If Digital Extremes delivers on their promise, the Old Peace might not just be a lore milestone. It could be the update that finally makes the operator feel as fun and important as the Warframe itself. Personally, I really love the idea of Tauron Strikes. It feels like Digital Extremes is finally giving the operator the attention it deserves after years of being more of a side feature than a core gameplay element. The concept of giving each focus school its own ultimate move is awesome. It brings flavor, variety, and a reason to actually care about your school choice beyond passive bonuses. But at the same time, not everyone in the community feels the same way. I've seen mixed reactions, especially from players who think this rework might change the identity of the operator too much. It's kind of funny, because I stumbled across a forum post where people were really debating this topic. Some were disappointed that the focus system is turning into something flashier instead of staying subtle and strategic. They said it feels like power creep, where operators might become too strong or overshadow Warframes in certain content. Others are just cautious, saying they don't want operators to feel clunky or limited to cooldown-based moves like the Tauron Strike, instead of having free-form control like before. It's a fair concern, but I think people might be jumping to conclusions a bit early. We have to remember that Digital Extremes already confirmed that this update isn't just about adding big explosions and flashy powers. They specifically said they want the operator to become an actual part of gameplay, not just a sidekick. That means the rework isn't just about the Tauron strike. It's about making the operator and Warframe feel connected, like a true team. Imagine swapping between the two smoothly, combining their abilities for better combat flow. That's what DE seems to be going for, and if they pull it off, it could completely change how we see combat in Warframe. I understand why some players are worried, though. The operator has always had a very specific role, mostly for support, mobility, or certain mission mechanics. Changing that foundation can be scary, especially for veterans who've spent years mastering the current focus system. But DE has done this kind of thing before. Remember when they reworked Melee, or the mod system? It felt weird at first, but most of those updates ended up improving the game in the long run. What excites me most is how this could encourage new synergy between both sides of gameplay. Right now, most players either use their Warframe 95% of the time or stay in operator mode for specific tasks. But with this rework, it feels like DE wants both sides to share the spotlight. The Warframe brings raw power, and the operator adds tactical flexibility. Together, they could create some really creative combat combos that keep the game fresh. So yeah, while some people are frustrated or skeptical, I think it's worth being patient. The old peace update looks like a step toward finally merging both halves of Warframe's identity, the Warframe and the operator, into something more cohesive. It's not about replacing one or overpowering the other. It's about balance, teamwork, and making every part of your kit feel valuable. And honestly, that sounds like the kind of evolution this game has needed for a long time. At the end of the day, Tauron strikes represent more than just another flashy feature. They're a sign that Warframe is still evolving. Digital Extremes is clearly trying to bring the operator up to the same level of importance as our Warframes, and that's something we've been hoping to see for years. It's risky, sure, but big changes always are. What matters is that DE is pushing the game forward instead of letting it stay stuck in old systems that no longer fit the pace of how people play today. If they pull this off, the operator could finally feel like a natural extension of our gameplay, not just a mechanic we use for specific moments or Eidolon hunts. We could start seeing real combos, mixing operator strikes with Warframe powers, and that could completely change how we think about builds and team play. It's exciting to imagine the potential once this system fully comes together in the old peace update. So for now, I'm staying optimistic. Let's give DE a bit of trust and time to show what they've been building. They've surprised us before, and I have a feeling Tauron Strikes might be another one of those moments that people doubt at first, but end up loving once they try it. What do you think, though? Are you excited about the operator's new direction, or still unsure how it'll fit into your gameplay? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Warframe news and deep dives.